Welcome to Dialogue. Let's talk about this. Do you actually go to the movies during the Chinese during the Chinese New Year?
I plan to, but I will be very cautious to what to choose. And Alex might have some recommendations. But we have tried the Great Wall with the family. There was a disaster. We didn't really stay until the end of it. So I just wonder if anything in the industry can give us some insight. How come so much input, resources, talent, everything in it, and still produce such a really poor quality product?
I know Yanling has very low expectations.
I already did.
Right? What about you?
It's actually a challenge to pick up a Chinese movie, a quality Chinese movies to go, to do a family, screening together. But still, there are some Chinese movies that were, gain our attention during the past year. So I think, but it's really challenged to do so. We need to pick it very carefully. But still, the Chinese New Year gained some international awards during the past year, which we need to give them applauses, for the best directors and the best actors and actresses in the Taiwan Golden Horse Awards, as well as some Berlin International Film Festivals, as well as others. So it's like a kind of, complex to view and comment the total performance of the Chinese New Year, the Chinese movies, yeah.
And of course, Alex is an industry insider. So what is your overall impression of Chinese movies in 2016?
2016 is a funny year for movies because you see all of these movies that are in which the business model comes before the content itself. I think the Great Wall, the secret behind the Great Wall is that it was actually a script that existed 7 years ago that had nothing to do with China, and it was essentially reverse engineered into a Chinese-US co-production. And I think a lot of audiences were very aware of the fact that that was what it was trying to do. And some comments about why it even did so much business, over 1 billion RMB in China to begin with, is the inherent forgiveness of the Chinese audience for movies that are meant to do business and not to really, provide interesting content. But on the other hand, as you say, I totally agree. There's some great independent movies being made in China. I mean, there was a recent adaptation, for example, of Liu Zhenyun's novel called Talk to Her. And it was screened. It will be screened in international festival.
Great IP.
It was a great novel, and it was adapted beautifully by a young female director. And of course, I Am Not Madame Bovary, I think would be a great movie to take my family to see, even though it's not traditionally thought of as a family movie. Nevertheless, it was met with great applause, and it generated a lot of criticism as well and a lot of commentary. But as good movies are meant to do.